The Hytale community is genuinely one of the best. I know the game isn't out yet, but hear what I have to say, because by the end of this video, you'll probably want to dive in yourself and meet some of the awesome people that are currently active around the space. Welcome back to Kweebec Corner. My name is Connor, and today on the Hytale Community Talk, well, let's put the introductions aside for this one, shall we? It's a lot less analytical. Imagine we're having a cup of tea or coffee over a nice fire. No, stop with the Quebec burning memes. No. Power by it, ladies and gentlemen. It's not often we sit down and talk about this little community we have forming here, not only on this channel, but under Hytale as a whole. You see, aside from the community art section I have at the end of my news updates, I've sort of let art slide a bit from the channel. If you remember, I used to run a series called Hytale Fan Art Wars, and while it only ran for 2 episodes, it was a great way to prompt conversation through free-flowing, somewhat against-the-clock casual talk. You'd also get a glimpse into the process of how each artist creates their work, so it's definitely something you should check out and a show that I'll likely be bringing back in the future. For now, I am developing something that will allow for more Hytale conversation to happen, and also wanted to take today's video to focus on those that empower us through their art and creations. I appreciate art, more specifically when my heart resonates with the subject of the piece. We all enjoy specific fan art because of the way it attaches itself to our memories and visions of the characters and creatures we already know and love. Players creating fan art predates many of the biggest titles we have today, but at its core it's always been about embracing how the game makes you feel and putting the inspiration you gather from it into your artwork. Be it representations of legendary characters, climactic events, or endless colourful landscapes, and now we're witnessing what a community like that can do with a game as all-encompassing as Hytale. At first, there really wasn't much to go on, because Hytale wasn't out. The trailer and a few blog posts were all that inspired the initial artists to start their work. Eventually, as more footage and screenshots released, some featuring iconic races and mobs, more people were inspired to try their hand. Artwork can come in all shapes and sizes, but it seems graphics and drawings were the main flow of content for a while. There's so much variance in the art styles too. I've seen Quebecs, Ferens, Outlanders, Gaia, and even Varen all portrayed in a myriad of marvelous and distinct ways. I think in part, Hytale's strengths come from the charisma the mobs hold. The fan art response, I suppose, is a testament to not just the amazingly designed models and textures, but also the way in which they are portrayed through the camera lens of the game we're yet to touch. You'll notice that when teasing content, Hytale's team spends a large amount of time on framing. You'll always see mobs spawning in a biome that has a similar color palette and a similar vibe. It just feels right. There's a lot of attention to detail when it comes to placing and showcasing each animal or creature, ensuring a specific atmosphere is conveyed each and every time. You can actually see this in the most recent bout of images where moss horns all appear in the same swampy biome. Fen stalkers are always a bit unnerving and unpredictable, Outlanders are portrayed as dark, dreary and demonic, Quebecs are nature-loving and innocent and so are found near rivers, swamps and trees. Even the pigeon with its ominous look. They could have just showed off a pigeon, but instead they decided to dramatize it and also showcase important gameplay features at the exact same time, those being player morphing, mob weapon wielding, and even ranged weapon throwing. Every one of these mobs resonates with the community, part in thanks to the effort put in by the Hypixel team to characterize and contextualize their existence within the game world. I think that's why artists already feel connected to these races and mobs in particular. They already feel familiar with the world of Orbis, despite the many secrets it no doubt still holds. Next came custom models and textures. It came as a bit of a surprise for some, but for those paying attention to the blog post, they will have spotted the mention of Craft Studio. The software was acquired by Hypixel Studios in order to transform it into the Hytale Model Maker. Because of this, players were able to access similar, albeit outdated tools to try their hand at the same thing. Users more familiar with modeling, perhaps from Minecraft or other gaming scenes, began suggesting and showcasing what was possible in Blockbench. Along with a few more programs, Hytale Fan Modeling was born. There have been a lot of prominent model makers for the past year now, making some awesome pop culture tie-ins, memes based in game lore, attempting entire characters we've yet to see in Hytale, and much more. Textures are a whole separate thing too. It's one skill to be able to place and size cubes, rotate them and create advanced shapes while retaining the current style of the game, but to then texture them and ensure colours, shading and all that jazz is pixel perfect, that's another. Much like how developers can be divided into front-end, back-end, and full-stack if they can do both, you could probably say the same for modelers and texturers, asset makers I guess they would be called if they could do both. Either way, people being able to see themselves or other things being represented in-game surely helped to build the hype, and even inspire others. The final thing that began to show in the fan art community was animation. Of course, you not only need to be inspired by the game, and then enough to commit to modeling and texturing, but furthermore you also need to enjoy the style and then the feel of the characters so much that you'd be willing to create custom rigs and framing sequences to showcase your own imagination. To me, this is like the pinnacle of fan art. Not to say that it's the best form at all. Drawings and models alone are still incredible, but animation shows an awesome dedication to the game by combining all of those aspects and bringing those to life. And it's not possible without the other two coming first. Although Hytale is still a while away from release, with an expected date sometime in mid to late 2021, people from the community are already participating in high-stakes art competitions, and some even have their own commissions open. A lot of artists enjoy creating art for multiple games, brands, and avenues. They're not just nailed to Hytale, so any attention they have been able to garner through Hytale's spotlight has helped splash back on their own work and professional services. I myself have even been able to show off a bit of my own knowledge through the attention this channel is receiving. We're almost at 20,000 subscribers. The fact that a channel like mine can exist with Hytale still on the horizon speaks volumes for the game's potential. Consider subscribing, by the way, if you haven't already. And speaking of art, there's been a flurry of art recently, like more so than ever before as more and more users become inspired and take to the drawing boards. 2021 will soon be with us, and with it brings Hytale. With so many good pieces that I didn't have enough time to showcase them all in the last video, let's get started with the community fan art. Polanax Smithy featured an Evermore Cutter by Cursorjan. H-Lab's art created an epic-looking berserk character with dark armor and ripped cape, as well as this epic render of a ninja-style character. Sal Line showed us a Mayo Farm featuring a moss horn. Corrupted Star showcased the heavenly set of weapons that has been consistently featured so far in the Orbis postcards. Very nicely done, and I love this pixel art style. They also attempted to showcase what Hytale items may look like as sprites. Personal favourite of mine is the Outlander weapon. Lipe is back and showcased some Plague Doctors from an even bigger project, and made an awesome character model for Simson 2638. Although he also said he's hurt his wrist, so make sure to go and send him some love. Arcana Dragon, a regular for this channel's community art section, created a concept for an Outlander dagger and a friendly Zone 1 elemental back in September. Reminder that it's also Inktober now. Arcana also dropped a Fenstalker themed baseball cap. Very fancy, I'd love to have one of these. EFS3 is back once again with those iconic sketches, creating lots more this time, showcasing his impressive talents for varying forms, even some inspired by community creations such as the rocker-themed Kweebec, created by SMBM. Speaking of, here's that model right now. Kweepunk, as he's been named, looking awesome with that spiky blue mohawk and the guitar that doubles as an axe. Penguin Animations, or Lucas, has certainly been hard at work over the last few months too. With a Farron fan art that apparently took 50 layers, he even provided some screenshots of the process. He also uploaded an image called Crow's Valley, a concept art for a Hytale dimension. Lucas also showcased his Photoshop process hilariously, including Noxie's avatar in the hand of a Renaissance-style character. Penguin's also not been shy of animations this month, all looking incredibly high quality. Righteous Pebble, a previous winner of our art contest and an incredible creative in their own right, tried their hand at a Hytale model, and for the first attempt, the Revenant certainly looks fitting and intimidating to say the least. A floating sorcerer with a staff and even a magic book. Spooky. Noxie had gift to say. Kaylin Scalawag created an adorable iPad wallpaper featuring a young Kweebec transfixed by fireflies. Very cute. Jordan W. Martin doesn't normally do fan art, but his Hytale obsession got the better of him with this awesome piece featuring a Kweebec. Deck has been at it all month again, but specifically his YouTuber Hytale skin post garnered a lot of attention, featuring Technoblade, Dream, Dio, and Quig. He also attempted some epic looking animations for his Iron Man and Thor models. An attempt was also made at the Ice Dragon's head from the trailer, and the details are pretty spot on, definitely worth checking him out on Twitter. Kevin showcased his image of a Farron looking pretty dapper considering they live in the desert. Antonio produced this epic looking image of Gaia with her elemental beads on show. Hypixel uploaded this beautiful shot featuring his Hytale avatar for Portfolio Day back in September, a personal favourite of mine. Chironic Official displayed a closer look at what's happening at Hylamix, a nice wagon indeed. Hydro X showed off a Noxy pixel art. Ben created an intimidating looking Ferren sprite loop. Dairy Panda is a good friend of the channel and did a drawing showing a professional Trork Slayer. Very awesome and good work, dude. Finally, Low Alone showed off what they want their character to look like when Hytale releases. I love this art style, very original. Honestly, there's something so inspiring about all these pieces, the different angles, styles, shapes, colours, characters, perspectives. I find it all fascinating. And maybe that's just because I'm a huge fan of Hytale, and maybe that's just how fan art works. But I, for one, would be very intrigued to know what you think. Let me know in the comments if you've ever been a part of any other artistic communities, or know any other games that have cool renditions in the plenty like Hytale that you've not been able to stop scrolling through. Of course, the Hytale community is bigger than just art. There's all types of talent hidden deep within people waiting to be unleashed in the world of Orbis once the game releases, and I for one can't wait to see it. If you want to join a community of thousands of Hytale enthusiasts such as yourself to chat, game, and compete in the run-up to beta, then join the Kweebec Corner Discord server using the link below. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and thanks as always for watching Kweebec Corner. Stay safe and keep free.